Alan Taylor. Mick Stoddard wants to know what the best 9-foot feeder rod is. So this is the best, no budget.
No budget. Great question. Couple of things though, what we would have liked to have known a bit more of, as so we know where to guide you, is where you're fishing, what species it are, what you're wanting to chuck on it, a method, a bomb. Do you go carp fishing? Do you go silverfish fishing? So there's loads of different questions, even for that one question, if you know what I mean. So again, because I like rabbiting on a bit, Tom, I haven't picked one, I've picked 3, so we get a wider spectrum of rods to have a look at.
Is one of them a Spectrum?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. In fact, one is a Spectrum, mate. And we'll start with that one. Look at that. Look how thick that is. That's me.
Oh, I tell you what. Oh, you've got very, very little fingers, or that's really thin.
I could say that that's a Kyle Hartley's hand. That's my finger, look. That's mine and that's Kyle's. No, look how thin.
It's a gorgeous looking piece of kit, isn't it?
I think this is one of the nicest looking rods on the market as well.
It's very, it is. It's very sort of...
like futuristic.
That's a good word for it, yeah.
I think they've really... I think they've like took a bit out of the lure rods and things like that.
Do you know what? I was just going to say it looks like a drop shotting rod.
Yeah, they always look a bit more sexy than feeder rods, I think. The old lure rods and that. But this is 9 foot. That weighs nothing.
Wow, it's like having a... Well, there's
It's
nothing
like
to it,
holding
is
a
there?
pencil,
There's
isn't
nothing to it, is there?
It is like holding a pencil.
Let's have a little look at the bend in it, my old.
You can use this for silverfish fishing, Tom, but it is more designed as a commercial rod.
Oh, okay.
Now, it's got a lovely through action on it.
How much is this, Al, before we get into too much? 200 quid.
Yeah. So we are
Nice.
going towards the top end here. But that is a lovely action. For fish, big F1s, carp up to £6, I would definitely recommend that rod.
Yeah, I
And
think
that
it's
is
lovely.
the Daiwa Spectrum 9 foot commercial ultra, it's called.
I'm sorry I'm putting you on the spot. What tips does it come with?
An ounce and an ounce and a half pushings. Okay. There we go. That one's an ounce.
Yeah.
And then the other one will probably be an ounce and a half as well, which for the carp, it don't matter at this. Winter time, definitely the ounce. And it'll make a double up as a lovely bomb rod for winter as well, like bomb and corn or bomb and bread, or when you're like mugging on the bomb, if you want to call it that, in winter when you're popping it about in your peg trying to find a fish.
100%.
Put the ounce tip in. For summer when the carp are feeding and whatever, you can put the ounce and a half tip in. For your method feeders, chucking a bit further or whatever, and they just drag it round anyway. So in winter, an ounce. Summer, ounce and a half, maybe even a 2 ounce tip. It doesn't make any difference in summer because they pull it round anyway.
Love it.
So we've got that one. Another one is the Drennan, no F1 commercial.
Right, I'm going to make a little confession, pal. Right. I have this thing about Drennan rods. I think they make some of the best silverfish rods ever. And that actually is an F1 Silvers rod.
Yeah.
But then, the carp rods have always been, hard to beat, Daiwa and Guru. You know, very, very nice carp fishing tackle. But then, we did the review with the new pellet waggler rod that I think you suggested for us to try. Wow, that was stunning. So I'm excited to look at this. But although it does say F1s and silvers, doesn't it?
F1s and silvers again, so you can use it for a multitude of things. With a 9 foot one, it is, even though for carp fishing, I've even thought of another one what we could add to this little video, which we will just chuck in at the end.
You're going to confuse the bloke. I'm going to ask you to pick one. You do know that, don't you?
I know, but you know what I'm like when I get rabbiting. But 9 footers are a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not specialised, but...
Well, they are specialised, right?
They are specialised, but they're a bit more of an all-round rod, isn't it? Because it's not for casting. It's for more often than not. It's like the new thing now is fishing a method off end of your rod or down margins.
Yeah, or up to a little island.
Or up to a little island. So they're not as powerful as like 10 footers and 11 footers. So
I've always said, and it'd be interesting. How much is this one, Al?
this one's 200 quid,
200
roughly.
quid. Right, okay.
But the thing with this one, Tom, and I understand where you were coming from with the other Drennan feeder rods.
Yeah.
But now they've got the eyes on them.
I was going to say, I mean, these are proper sort of...
These are proper feeder fishing eyes.
Aren't they?
Now, when you pick this rod up, it now says to me, as an angler, I'm a feeder rod.
Yeah.
Just with the eyes on it. When the other eyes were on it, what are more like float fishing eyes, I think, is it a feeder rod or is it a bomb rod? But now this tells me that this is a proper feeder rod.
Yeah, that's a nice piece of kit, that, isn't it?
Just with the rings on it. Again, screw reel fittings like they all have nowadays, the modern rods. The keeper eye for your hook lens.
Yeah.
Nice short handles, so they're not gaining your way when you're just plopping them in, which you don't want them really long like this. If you're only chucking 15 metres, 10 metres sometimes, you don't want a long handle on them. So they're nice and easy, so you can just plop it in front of you. Your feeder still goes in nice. That's a lovely rod as well.
Lovely piece of kit, isn't it?
Yeah. This Drennan one, the Preston Superior.
Yeah.
Now, I would say this is more of a carp rod.
Okay.
As opposed to the other two you could use for silvers and carp.
So this is a dedicated 9-foot carp feeder rod, yeah?
When you grab this one, Tom, you'll feel how much more power there is.
Interesting. I'll tell you what strikes me. It could be my imagination, but it looks like it's got more eyes on it than the others.
No. It maybe looks like it, but I don't think it. But you can see there's more power here in it. So if you were after a rod for bigger fish,
yeah,
this is, for me, this would be the better rod out of the three. But as I said,
you can feel the power, can't you?
You can feel power. There's more power in that one. So
Absolutely.
This one's 210 quid. This is the 9
That's
foot.
the most expensive of the three.
That's the most expensive of the three. Yeah, the 9-foot Superior X. They do a lovely range of rods. As I said to you at the beginning of the video, I mean, I'm going to just chuck one in.
Chuck one in.
Chuck one
in, because I'm going to chuck something in a
it.
minute. I'm going to chuck something in as well, pal. So don't think you're the only one who's going to chuck anything in, because I'm going to chuck something in.
Right, if I can find it, if we've got one. Yeah, I'm going to make myself look a liar here.
I'm going to have a little bite of my toast while you're finding what you're looking for. Look at this,
toast?
Kyle's made me some toast.
You get spoiled, you do.
I love Kyle, he looks after me.
Right, I can't find one. But the other one I'm going to suggest, if it is out and out carp, and that's what you're after, you will not go wrong with the Feederland,
Free Spirit.
Free Spirit carp feeder 9-footer. Now that is a proper carp rod.
Now,
if you're just after bigger carp,
yeah.
And this will be the cheapest of the four.
So can I ask you a question? We've not got one here. Do we struggle to get stock on them, or is it coming on the get them?
We're just waiting. We've been a bit busy at work last couple of weeks, and
Yeah.
we've had lads off. We just haven't had time to get an order.
To get an order in, that's all right. So normally they're in stock.
No, there's no issues usually with
Free Spirit.
It's just that I thought we'd got one on rack, and I can't find one looking. But the 9-foot Free Spirit CTX is as good a rod as them all, and it's probably around about 125.
Okay, so it's cheaper. Now, this leads me nicely on to my little controversial question.
Go on.
I've always thought, I'll be 100% honest, Alan, whenever I've tested short feeder rods, you don't need to spend a lot of money. Like, I know he's asked here, his question is the best, which we've given him.
Yeah.
But do you agree? I mean, for me, if I was spending my own hard-earned cash, I would look very closely at some cheaper 9-foot feeder rods. Would you agree with that?
Well, to be fair, like you have said in the video, with a 9-footer, you're not looking to cast distance.
No, you're wanting more glass in or more sort of a softer action, aren't you?
You usually have a bit more softer action because it's 9-foot, and you're usually what we call plopping.
Yeah.
So you might only be casting it off rod end.
It's
not even written, like places like Larford and that. I fished a match there a few years ago, and I fished the full 5 hours, and I never took the bail arm off my reel.
Yeah.
To cast him, basically. I held the rod, held my feeder, and just plopped it left, right, and in front of me.
Yeah.
You don't have to, like a 9-foot rod, you're not casting 100 metres.
No.
So with a 9-footer, you don't have to spend a fortune. There's some really good rods.
Come on then. Let's just chuck it in there. What's the best value one?
Best value ones?
Because I wouldn't spend 200 quid on a 9-foot rod.
I won't. Personally, I wouldn't.
No.
I can cast a swivel as far as I can cast a feeder with a 9-foot rod.
Yeah, you're not buying it for casting.
And that's what you're doing.
You're not buying
it for casting. It's basically just to play a fish, and it's on your rod rest for 90% a day anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you don't...
Or in your case, playing a carp for 90% of the day.
Yeah. Or, with another thing with a 9-footer, they don't weigh out anyway. Whether it's 50 quid or 300 quid, they don't weigh a lot anyway.
No, exactly.
So, what we got?
You'll see here, by the way, I'll cut this for a range of rods. I don't think there's anywhere in the north of the range like this.
Here we go.
What we got here? Oh, nitro.
Nitro.
Impact.
9 foot cart feeder impact.
How much?
How much?
How much?
How much? That's a proper Barnsley saying that, isn't it? Let's have a look at action first, Tom. Now, we haven't got as expensive rings on these Ranger rods and that, but then again,
It's a lovely parabolic action again, though, isn't it? That's
plenty of power here.
no
for
flat
lifting the
spot.
fish up.
No flat spot there, is there?
No. Comes with a couple
Oh,
of... Tom,
causing carnage.
Comes with a couple of pushing quiver tips. $39.99.
Yeah, well, I think I know where my money would be going.
I'd use one of them happily all day. Not a problem. So $39.99. Probably up to 50 quid again with the Guru A classes. They do a 9 foot rod. Beautiful rods. And that'll be 40 odd quid as well.
So there you are. You asked for the best. We've shown you what we think is probably the best money can buy, but just look at your pound notes carefully on this one, folks.